Sunday, December the 11th, 2016. Dear little black girls, let me free you, yes, all my daughters, like Afrocentric hair tangled in bows, like scalps running from hot combs. Release your pride until your brown pours out relevance in perpetuating systems that attempt to keep you locked behind closed doors. I will lower the bars for my daughters so they won't be slaughtered and can easily reach over and stand. For you to internally understand, not how but appreciate the external way little black girls make their pink leotard and tutu look good on their cocoa butter brown. Their grace doesn't have to whisper in their dance when God has given them rhythms of continents in their hips that move like ships on water during thunderstorms, and lips that speak soprano until boys falsetto to sing serenades of reflected falsetto notes in rhymes that mimic their dance like the Mediterranean Sea. And the only place they are told to tiptoe and allowed to do so is in their ballet class, to politely disturb the sleeping ancestors with the tip of their toes, the cracked Creole eggshells that are buried in gold cemeteries of those who have not yet been born. Petite fille, break glass ceilings with your shouts of alleluia when you're angry or happy, when you feel you need to correct the vision that looks to see you fail. It's okay that at first you are confused by their looks, but the only thing you need to see and do is understand how we are supposed to be treated as a species, and not how to prevail because your skin is subjected to the tone of your slang that rests in the creative barriers of your speech. At the end of the day, break underneath all our flesh, we have the same color skeleton bones that rest in the birthplace created from your soil, the same dark soil they throw their trash upon. Dear little black girls, the contents within your bones hold the genetics that make the universe glow. The contents in your skin tone swallows the healing substance of the sun that works for y'all, but not your white dolls, not your counterparts that may hate you without a cause, degrade you because you feel the gap in your genes, that they will try to rob your innocence until racism burns a hole in that fabric. But that doesn't mean to patch it with bleaching creams. They will make you want to scrub your dirty off until your epidermis rubs into fallen layers of syntheses that make you turn into clay water that runs clean in the rain. Instead, I dare you to jump in those big brown puddles until you spew like holy water into their unclean spirit, until they testify that indeed your dirty is the soil that brings things to life, as though your middle name is faith. Dear little black girls, they will try to touch your exotic with poisoned fingertips, linger in your locker, and don't understand why they hate you, but they hate that they aren't you. They are envious and will demise to kill the unique black red rose that grows through cracked concrete stone. Watch as you begin to wilt and then pluck your velvet petals until your stalk is naked and crush you without a single step, until they are filled with regret once they feel your pain through the rarity of your thorns, jealous that you're the one rose that grows amongst the weeds and spread more seeds, until eventually the pale gray concrete splits and breaks into pieces that dissolve inside that soil. Dear little black girls, tie your jazz coil around their fingers to remind them of your pizzazz, and that's where black girl blessings come from and not magic, because there is nothing paranormal about your existence nor your being, though they may want you to be invisible until you surpass their logic and go on to do great things, and you are more alive than their mummified heart can fathom to imagine and believe. Just because you are supernatural female doesn't mean that you're a freak, but let's not get it twisted, unless of course it's about that thick business that turns within every tangled strand that swallows bobby pins and pop rubber bands. Get this. You don't need sorcery to become someone beautiful, because before you were born beautiful, you were perfected by the shimmer that stars are made from. Dear little black girls, my daughters, all of you, I will not follow some of their suggestions of not reminding you every day that you are beautiful, nor will I follow the rules to acknowledge just the attributes of your skills they will misuse, and I know they will. But how can we ignore the skin you live in? You can't change your melanin as last year's fashion line. And besides that, you are someone that would never go out of style. Dear little black girls, to all of my girls of color with white mothers whose skin tone mimics the impressionable freckles that are spread across her mother's buttermilk battered body. Girls of color whose product is the most expensive in their home to protect their hair and skin tone. Girls of color who white mothers don't know how to comb the kink from your black undertone. Instead, pull the pain from your scalp until your follicles swell and are bleeding, until they ache enough that you feel it within your brown belly button, and she cries in your young brown bosom because she was in love with the idea of having a brown child but can't comb your brown hair, and without realizing defamation you will be faced with, even from part of your own race, because you're a lighter version of their clay, or that it's okay to be your friend because you're not really that brown, because your mother obviously made a mistake, or maybe because your black daddy doesn't really think like the majority of minorities. So it's okay to go over there and play during the weekend. More like pin the tail on a donkey that day, because they want to make an ass out of you and condescendingly ridicule why your lips are so full. Why is your skin so tan? Why is your hair so thick and nappy? Don't you wish you could have it straight and normal? And you go home crying because you don't feel normal anymore. You collapse into your mother's freckled breast, walk towards the mirror and cringe at your reflection. Your skin tone is now a sin tone to you, looking at your reflection as a criminal because you feel you should steal someone's identity that are shades lighter than your own. You don't feel normal anymore as being an authentic little brown girl until you're introduced with the first box just for me perm that your white mother stayed up all night looking on the internet to help tame the shame that was created from your ignorant counterparts. It's not just for you, and you better not dare to accept nor care after the conclusion that is something wrong with you when it's them that turn around to find ways to steal your sun, to have your shine, to tend their insecurities in midday and plump their lips to look like yours that resemble the round full moon that tucks you in and kisses your forehead goodnight, and perm their hair to mimic your natural kinky design that they just mocked. Hypocrites they are. Dear little black girls, you don't have to be anything other than who you are. I dare you to indulge in your divinity. Sparkle your little black girl essence across the stage and hide your cheeks that boys wish to kiss upon, because some black boys don't want black girls, and some black boys want black toys they can discard after playing in and into full bins that sit by the corner of their depressed beds until you seem suitable and fitting enough in their eyes to play with again. Dear little black girls, you still will bleed the same red that will stain your adolescence. You will have to snap your bra in position so the underwire don't cut into that deep chocolate or cocoa or almond or peanut butter tone flesh. You will still have to do partial gymnastics to put your pants on one leg at a time and over your hips, just as any other lady may have to do. But you, little black girl, you, all of my daughters, still are the real birth of this nation, baby. You are anything that you wish to discover. You are some little white girl's fantasy where they dream of spreading their freckles across their body like warm Nutella on bread and fit like a brown fitted sheet on a bed and give the winter sun something proud to giggle of in their daydreams. Dear little black girls, tell yourself you love you. Tell yourself that though jealous creatures lure like wolves waiting on Little Red Riding Hood to eat her, that you are full of blossoms that spring in time where your black is forever important. Don't disregard the dark hands that led you into your position of today. Don't disregard your dark hands that hold praise flags that reach beyond the ceiling of the sun. Know that your womb is going to be just as important as your skin tone, just as important as you are. And if you don't believe me, ask God. The contraptions of conceptions will not kill your legacy. Know that you're allowed to not only be smart, but you're also allowed to be smart and beautiful and unique and dangerous and passionate and fun and humorous and charismatic. You deserve to be protected and cared for. You deserve your exotic to spill like colored ink on front covers of magazines that are in every doctor's office and in each person's home. Dear little black girl, I'm you and you are me. You are part of the meaning of Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. Never think think I don't understand, but yet comprehend what it is like for you. I remember being in after school and telling a little white girl, I'm waiting for my mama like you. And she made a face in wonder when she seen my mother pick me up from that place, and without taming her tongue, the curious question flew from her lips with velocity that everyone audibly heard without modesty. How is that your mama, but she's white and you're black? I remember a protective proudness that allowed me to humbly correct her ignorance. Little black girl, your value shouldn't be measured just by your intelligence alone, and you don't have to speak in a monotone to prove your mentality is not as ghetto as some other little black girls, and they made into projects to sit in projects that they project and take daddies from their home. And just because your nose is round and brown does not mean that you should brown nose your way around town. And little black girl, if you're ever feeling down, pull out your God-given crown from your closet or your locker and place it upon your head proudly, because dear little black girls, you are the epitome of life that your dark soil tone came from.